During my own schooling experience, I was drawn to the teachers who were kind, thoughtful, and caring, the teachers I felt comfortable asking questions of. If I was placed with a teacher who displayed traits other than these, I would commonly feel quite intimidated. I wouldn't ask questions, I'd disengage from the content, and I'd fall behind. Bell Hooks and Nell Noddings have a really nice educational philosophy. Both of them really cater to the student's well-being, place this at the forefront of their learning, and really care about the student as a whole. Their educational philosophies are quite similar and they really align with my own developing educational philosophy. Nell Noddings is an educational philosopher who values student well-being, and her educational philosophy is aligned with care ethics, believing care is the foundation to ethical decision-making and essential to the success and improvement of society. Nell Noddings views education as a fundamental construct in cultivating a society which demonstrates care and revels in ethical decision-making. I believe teachers must model care to students, creating an environment that fosters relationships, respect, and value. Nell Noddings highlights the importance of engaging students in discussions about care, encouraging students to demonstrate care, and recognising this in others. The educational philosophy of Nell Noddings believes teachers have a role in educating students to be ethical members of society. In line with Nell Noddings' educational philosophy is Bell Hooks' philosophy of a progressive, holistic education system, one which values diversity and believes catering to student well-being is a precursor to education. Fundamental to Bell Hooks' education philosophy is her belief that education amounts to freedom, believing that education is the key to breaking cycles of poverty and class dominance, and believes students, no matter their race, sexuality, or class, should have access to education that is safe and be safe in doing so. Bell Hooks states, "Educate as the practice of freedom is a way of educating that anyone can learn." I believe teachers must value diversity and student differences, be that gender, culture, race, or sexuality, and these differences should be celebrated and valued in the classroom. The philosophies of both Nell Noddings and Bell Hooks complement this. Nell Noddings and Bell Hooks believed students should be taught with their well-being at the forefront, empowered to reject discrimination and stereotyping. I believe teachers must appreciate the differences of their students and value their individualities. Bell Hooks' educational philosophy reflects Standard 4 of the Australian Professional Standards for Teachers, which states teachers should create and maintain safe and supportive learning environments. Bell Hooks believes in a holistic, engaged pedagogical approach to education and values the emotional and spiritual development of students. An engaged classroom sees the teacher drawing on emotions in learning, resulting in a communal space in which there is an ongoing recognition that everyone in the classroom influences their dynamic. On the topic of student well-being and emotions as a precursor to education, Bell Hooks said this: "Teachers who believe that our work is not merely to share information, but to share in the intellectual and spiritual growth of our students, to teach in a manner that respects and cares for the souls of our students, is essential if we are to provide the necessary conditions where learning can most deeply and intimately begin." I believe the purpose of education is for social transformation, working toward change and recognising the power of education and its link with freedom. I believe all children should have access to education that is safe and supportive and empowers them to become ethical members of society who make good choices and encourage others to do the same. As a teacher, I believe my personal purpose is to model respectful and kind behaviour toward others, modelling care ethics and providing opportunities for my students to make ethical choices. I imagine my future classroom will be an open, accepting and safe space for students. An environment where they feel supported in discovering new concepts and ideas, free to ask questions, and empowered to challenge the world around them. Nell Noddings and Bell Hook make subtle references to the hidden curriculum, and I believe the hidden curriculum is vital in producing students who are conscientious, thoughtful, caring, and ethical members of society. These positive traits are essential to the improvement of society and may aid in the workforce and society in general becoming more accepting, open-minded, and ethical, reducing instances of discrimination, racism, and hatred. In order to improve society, we must consider the messages students are receiving during their 12 years of schooling. If we can create classrooms which are open, honest, respectful, and value diversity, we could help improve society as a whole by providing students with opportunities to engage with other students who may look or act different to them or hold contrasting beliefs and values, removing the fear factor from diversity and helping these sorts of traits carry into the workforce.